Imagine telling a fiercely competitive democracy and like a ruthless dictatorship that they actually share the exact same economic strategy. Sounds crazy, right?
Yeah, it's totally counterintuitive.
Right. But today's deep dive into this 2026 paper by researchers Patti, Mudambi, and Navarra proves that when it comes to attracting trillions in global money, well, extremes really do attract.
Exactly. I mean, they looked at data from 144 countries over nearly 30 years, from 1990 to 2018,
Yeah.
and the patterns are just striking.
Okay, let's unpack this because usually when we hear about foreign direct investment or FDI, we just think of dry economics.
Yeah, like supply chains or corporate tax rates.
Right, that sort of thing. But these researchers are asking us to look at FDI entirely differently, basically as a political survival tool.
Right. They're building on Acemoglu and Robinson's Nobel-Prize-winning work. The foundational premise is that rulers, regardless of their political system, only implement economic policies if it helps them keep their own grip on power.
So it's not about the greater good at all.
Oh, definitely not. It's just about staying in the boss's chair.
Okay, so if keeping power is the only real goal, how exactly does that selfish drive dictate which countries actually get those foreign billions?
Well, the data reveals this incredible U-shaped relationship. The countries pulling in the most foreign investment are at the extreme opposite ends of the political spectrum.
You mean highly competitive democracies and heavily entrenched autocracies?
Exactly. Both pull in massive foreign capital, but for completely opposite reasons.
I like to think of foreign direct investment like a golden goose. In a highly competitive democracy, politicians desperately need that goose's eggs, job creation, GDP growth.
Right, because they have to win re-election.
Exactly. If they don't deliver those eggs to you, the voter, they're out of a job.
And what's fascinating here is how the other side of that U-shape operates. Deeply entrenched autocrats also want the golden goose, but they just want to extract what economists call rents.
Basically skimming off the top.
Generating personal wealth, corruption, paying off their elite cronies. They know their regime is secure enough to just hoard the profits.
Wait, I have to push back here. What about the middle of the pack, like weak autocracies or complacent democracies?
Well, they actually completely fail to attract that money.
But why? If I'm a foreign investor, wouldn't a weak dictator be, I don't know, easier to manipulate?
No, because they're too busy fighting off internal rivals to make long-term plans. A foreign corporation isn't going to risk a 10-year manufacturing plant if the next dictator might just tear up the contract.
Oh, right. That makes total sense. It's all about predictability.
Yes, total authoritarian control offers a twisted kind of predictability. And on the flip side, complacent democracies, where one party holds power indefinitely without real competition, they just get comfortable.
They don't feel the electoral heat.
Exactly, so they don't bother doing the hard work to attract that investment.
Wow. Okay, so the golden goose is laying eggs at these two extreme ends. But who actually gets to eat them once the money is flowing?
That brings us to a massive inequality plot twist. While foreign investment undeniably drives growth, the data shows it also severely spikes income inequality.
Because it favors high-knowledge workers.
Right. It brings in foreign tech and capital that heavily benefits those workers, but it largely leaves low-skill workers behind. The wealth just isn't distributed evenly.
So what does this all mean? Like, how do these completely different systems handle the backlash of that uneven wealth?
This is the dark irony of the data. In democracies, that rising inequality makes voters angry.
They start pushing back against globalization.
Yeah, which forces elected politicians to pump the brakes on foreign trade just to appease them.
But autocracies.
They simply ignore it. They aren't accountable to angry voters, so they just keep the foreign money flowing.
That is actually really chilling when you realize the democracies have to self-sabotage their growth to keep the peace, while the dictators just turn a blind eye.
It really is.
So when I see a massive new trade deal being signed, I shouldn't just see a win for the economy. I should be looking at who is trying to save their political skin.
Precisely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this framework gives you X-ray vision for the news. You can spot the political survival tactics driving those multi-billion-dollar press releases.
It totally changes how you read the headlines. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the hidden mechanics of global money.
Thanks for having me.
Before you go, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. If autocratic regimes can completely ignore public backlash to maintain a competitive economic edge, will the future of global capitalism inevitably favor authoritarianism over democratic freedom?